Audio? Okay, boom. All right. Patrick P saves the day. He points it out right under my nose. We were on the wrong audio channel there. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. And we've got audio from our web team. Thank you so much for joining me here. My name is Alan Devlin, and I am with Atlanta News First here at the First Alert Desk this fine Tuesday here as we enter the second week of June. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to take some time with you guys today, and we're really going to talk about one topic here, which is the main story on a national scale. The former President Donald Trump facing a judge in a Miami courtroom earlier today, facing 37 counts out of that indictment that was unsealed last week, dealing with his handling of the documents he had down at his home in Mar-a-Lago. So this is kind of what he is facing right now: willful retention of national defense information, conspiracy to obstruct justice, withholding a document or record, corruptly concealing a document or record, concealing a document in a federal investigation, scheme to conceal, and then false statements and representation. It is a long, long list of accusations made by the federal government against a sitting president. The first time that, not a sitting president, a former president, excuse me, the first time a former president has ever been charged in this regard by the federal government, which is a historic day for a number of reasons. The federal government says that he had these documents and then knowingly and willfully hid them from FBI, CIA, from government agencies trying to get them back. And so that is where these charges kind of stem from. What I've got here is a short walkthrough of kind of what we are dealing with and what we saw today, presented by Atlanta News First, Rebecca Schramm.
Mr. Trump has already been indicted in New York over his alleged involvement in hush money payments, and it's possible he could be indicted this summer here in Fulton County. The case here, of course, as we've been telling you, centers on accusations that former President Trump illegally interfered with Georgia's 2020 election. And a fourth case still hanging over his head involves the January 6th investigation. Today in Miami, Mr. Trump is expected to plead not guilty in federal court. The indictment accuses him of illegally holding on to classified documents after his term in the White House and obstructing efforts to retrieve them. Prosecutors say some of the documents concern U.S. nuclear weapons programs and contain details about military activity and capabilities of the U.S. in foreign countries. Some Republicans, including Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, say the case doesn't look good for the former president.
The total volume and the scope and the sensitivity of this material is an intelligence catastrophe waiting to happen.
The country is going to go through tumult as a result of one thing. President Trump didn't turn over military documents when he was asked to do so. All he had to do was hand them in.
Mr. Trump insists he did nothing wrong and that the case is politically motivated. In Miami today, they're expecting a huge crowd of Trump supporters for the arraignment. We'll monitor it for you. In Atlanta, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
And a huge crowd is exactly what they got down in Miami. I want to show you, take a look at some of the video here that came out of Miami. This is earlier today outside that courthouse where the former president showed up to face his arraignment, to face a judge in this federal case. Massive scores and scores of Trump supporters waving flags out there in the streets, chasing after the motorcade in some points, chasing down the president, cheering for him. Secret Service was, of course, out in numbers as well, protecting the president. Here is that motorcade moving through downtown Miami from the courthouse. And now he is set to speak in Bedminster, New Jersey, at one of his clubs in New Jersey. He flew out of Miami into Jersey, where he is going to be talking to more supporters as a fundraising event. He's looking to raise about $2 million tonight in response to these accusations, in response to these charges. And so that is going to kick off here in, I think, honestly, very, very soon. He's going to be speaking very, very soon here in Jersey, and we'll have more coverage of that once it happens. This is the motorcade again, going underground into that Miami courthouse. Donald Trump, of course, is the first president, as I said, to be indicted on federal charges. He's facing a number of indictments at this point, as well as pending cases, including the one here in Georgia. And that's where we've got, I believe, Doug Reardon, who's going to be able to talk a little bit about what he's facing in Georgia, because we're also dealing with what will very likely be another indictment as far as his involvement with the 2020 election and District Attorney Fani Willis.
Outside the federal courthouse in Miami, Trump supporters call this a sad day in America.
Probably the worst day since President Kennedy and President Lincoln were shot, to me, because democracy as we know it, to me, it's I don't know what's going on. I hope the charges are dropped.
Former President Donald Trump today will become the first sitting or former U.S. president to be arraigned on federal charges. The indictment alleges he willfully retained classified documents after he left office and refused to return them. Trump has called the indictment a witch hunt, saying he did nothing wrong. He's getting vocal support from Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene.
This is a weaponized government attempt to take down the top political enemy and leading presidential candidate.
And more support from Florida Congressman Byron Donalds.
I look at this very dubious when, by the way, I also know, being a member of the Oversight Committee, that Joe Biden, that there are major allegations that he took $5 million from Burisma. Yeah, I am very skeptical of this indictment.
Trump critics also are demonstrating.
Enough is enough. He needs to pay.
Maryland's former governor, a Republican, says it's time his party move away from Trump.
Very difficult for somebody to be a candidate for president and deal with, 37 counts, multiple indictments in multiple places, and potentially others, and while trying to campaign. I mean, it's just not what we want to see. It's not how we get back to winning again.
Yeah, and it's just one of those continuing things that we're going to have to continue to monitor, because there are no answers right now. And the belief is that this case will take precedent over the other cases that he's facing, the civil or the state cases, because it is a federal case, this one out of Miami, this one dealing with the federal documents. So those other cases are likely going to take a back seat, to which we will have the federal case take precedent, of course. A lot going on today. There's still a lot more to come, because he hasn't spoken yet in New Jersey, and we'll have that on Atlanta News First once he makes those remarks. Likely going to be bashing the accusations, as you would expect, either if you are a supporter or someone who is against Donald Trump. You know what's likely coming next. That's what I've got for you today. Talking a lot about Trump here and there. He's got some legal troubles that he has to deal with, and we'll see exactly where that goes. In the meantime, though, if you have been outside today, what you got was some pretty pleasant weather on the back half of the day. The first half was a little spotty on the rain, but second half was darn good. It looked a lot like a spring day in June in Atlanta. Meteorologist Patrick Pete is here to talk to you a little bit about what's coming up, because I do believe we have a first alert in the forecast, right?
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, this weather doesn't want to just get sunny and bright and stay that way. So let's just take a moment to enjoy this beautiful sunset as it is happening across North Georgia. It really is a sight to see. Beautiful, beautiful view out there. Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic evening. I know that we are here at Atlanta News First. We are preparing you for a bit of a turbulent day tomorrow. Showers and storms are going to be possible. It's not going to be an all-day affair, but there's going to be in and out showers throughout the day. So by the end of tomorrow, we do expect that most of you will have gotten at least some of the rain. Definitely some rumbles of thunder for sure. And we'll be watching some of these rain totals, because it's going to get a bit aggressive. So a first alert in place tomorrow because of widespread rain and some thunderstorms, some of which could be strong to severe. And some of that's going to linger through the overnight into the start of your Thursday. And there's even a rain chance Thursday afternoon. So no first alert right now, but we are keeping about a 40% chance of showers as that system is going to be meandering around for another 36 to 48 hours. Then heading into Friday, that is going to be not only the best day of the week so far, but it's going to be the best day in the extended forecast. As we're expecting mainly dry conditions, good amount of sunshine, temps in the upper 80s. And even Saturday's not too bad. I know it's the weekend and you're looking for a time to be out and about, and Saturday is going to be the day to try to squeeze some of that in. Now, I know we always talk about our app because it's our app, and of course that's what you do whenever you have something that's created for you. But heading into Saturday, it's going to be a really good idea to have our app downloaded, because if there are any of these pop-ups that fire up, which we're expecting to be isolated, mainly south of the city, but with these pop-ups and this type of flow, that pop-up could be a little bit further north. If you have that First Alert Weather app, you will be notified whenever those showers and thunderstorms appear in your area, and you'll also be notified whenever lightning is a ways away, but moving your way. So it's a good way to be aware whenever it's just not like a cohesive front that's pushing through, and it's just a disturbance or what we call in the weather department diurnal instability. But it's pretty much just summertime flow that leads to pop-ups in the afternoon. That's the best way for you to be aware of that. And then we're first alerting Sunday as well, because another system is going to be pushing into the area, and it's setting us up for soggy into Sunday, and looks like Monday's going to be wet as well. So we're first alerting Monday too. So there's 3 first alerts in the forecast. So y'all, bear with us, stay with us, tune in with us daily so that we can keep you aware of what's on the way. Let's get you through the next 24 hours. The Storm Prediction Center has a level 2 out of 5 risk for strong storms across our area, and that's most of you. That's an elevated potential, level 2 out of 5, for damaging wind gusts, heavy downpours, and we can even see some large hail embedded in these thunderstorms. And with that being said, there is going to be enough rotation for there to be an isolated tornado. So we're going to kind of be on the lookout for all severe weather modes. And we're really going to be focusing in on one particular part of the area that you see highlighted, because there's one particular area where it just looks like the dynamics are going to be the strongest, and that's where we could see the strongest thunderstorms. So we'll play that for you hour by hour. Here's how we get through your Wednesday first alert. Morning showers and storms look to arrive, especially into some of our southernmost counties, roughly 6 to 8 a.m. The rest of that rain holds off to the west for areas closer to the metro. Clouds and some isolated sprinkles, but the heavier stuff not going to arrive until mid-morning. So we're thinking 9 to 10 a.m. is when that line is going to make its way through the heart of metro Atlanta, and then push on out towards the east by 11 a.m. to 12. We're expecting this to start to dry out. We're going to have a little bit of cloud cover, some lingering sprinkles. You know that dampness that we get with these type of systems whenever they move out. And then as we head back into the afternoon, more showers and more storms firing up. You see where you see those darker yellows, those brighter yellows, those darker reds moving through portions of true Meriwether County, stretching into Clayton, Fayette counties. These are going to be the areas that we're going to be watching the closest for some of these stronger storms to develop in the afternoon. This is where essentially the air is the most unstable in the afternoon because of the heating of the day, and we're going to have some energy firing up. That's also where the stronger signature is for rotation. So if we do, and I want to preface this, not saying we're going to get one, but if we do get a stronger thunderstorm that produces stronger winds, heavier rain, larger hail, and any rotation, it's probably going to be in that I-20 corridor and points to the south. That's just where a lot of the guidance has been hinting at some of those stronger storms. Meanwhile, heading into the evening, 5 o'clock, especially for folks that are driving north, looks like we're going to have some banding of showers and storms that start to lift northward. So we'll be watching for some of that. Once again, everybody not getting it at the same time, but at some point we expect you to get something tomorrow, whether it's just some light rain or it's lots of lightning and some heavy downpours. And we're going to be tracking that through the evening hours. Radar's not going to be quiet at 11 o'clock tomorrow night whenever meteorologist Fred Campagna is going to be tracking and preparing you for Thursday. There's still going to be some action on there. Meanwhile, starting off Thursday morning with some isolated showers. This system is going to kind of rotate and push on out towards the east. We do expect there to be some lingering moisture through the first half of the day, and even a spotty shower or thunderstorm earlier in the afternoon. But the later we get in the day, guidance is trending with a drier solution, some breaks in the clouds. So once you get off for Thursday, I know that some folks do Thirsty Thursday, some people just do dinner at home. Regardless, there should be some dry time, and there should be some breaks in the clouds for the afternoon. That should allow temperatures to start to warm. You can see that some areas are going to get 10 degrees warmer than Metro Atlanta, so we'll be watching for some of that. Low to mid 80s north of the city should be closer to 80 at around 5. And then we're clearing out, cooling down as we push into the evening. So we're also watching for the potential for some isolated flooding. We don't expect this to be a widespread issue, but anytime that you get 2 to 3 inches of rain over the course of a day or so, that leads to the potential for some of this runoff to cause some issues. This water has to flow somewhere, and it's going to come down fast for some folks, and some folks are going to get multiple rounds of it. So we're really watching the southern half of our area because that's where you can see, and the I-20 corridor isn't really a defining line, but it just happens to be with this system. You can see that the corridors where you see those higher totals, the yellows, the oranges, the reds, that's where we're talking about 1 to 3 inches of rain being possible. Looks like we'll see lower totals in the mountains, but you'll still get a little bit of something as well. So we'll stay dialed into those rain totals. We'll warn you as soon as we start to see evidence that there could be water coalescing, and, you know, we'll keep you aware if you have that app. Meanwhile, we dry out Friday. Lots going on this weekend. Lots of Juneteenth celebration stuff that's going on. We're actually going to be streaming the Juneteenth parade on Peachtree TV, and a large chunk of your Atlanta News First team is going to be out there, including the weather team, all 7 of us, we come deep. We're ready for 5-on-5 if you want that heat. But also our investigates team, a lot of our anchors, a lot of our reporters, a lot of our producers, a lot of everybody's going to be out there. So we're going to be out there covering that and having some fun celebrating with everybody. So hopefully we'll see you there. Meanwhile, that forecast is calling for a drier solution Saturday. There's going to be some afternoon pop-ups, but guidance is keeping those pop-ups south of the city. So as long as that continues to be the trend, I think we're going to have a fantastic parade. It's going to be a little warm. Remember to hydrate, but upper 80s is going to feel good after these cooler temperatures we're going to be dealing with the next couple of days. Meanwhile, another first alert Sunday, first alert Monday, as another system will bring chances for showers and storms that should be widespread both of those days. That's going to cause temperatures to be a little bit cooler, so we'll dip into the lower 80s both of those days, and then showers and storms should exit sometime on Tuesday. So lots going on, guys. And with the forecast like this, meteorology is fun for lots of reasons, but with this type of a setup, whenever we're just talking about a lot of different short waves moving in, it leads to not only shower and thunderstorm opportunities, but these systems can kind of like linger. So this is going to be a fluid forecast, especially for like day 6 and day 7. So you'll definitely want to check back in with us as we continue to update you. Right now, what we're certain of is that we're just going to have a lot of moisture around and a lot of energy out there. So showers and storms should be pretty much a given for sure the next 2 days, and then again heading into the beginning of next week. So you know where to catch us. It's 8:17. We have another newscast coming up at 9. And if you want the latest, meteorologist Fred Compliance, he's back there right now going through some data. And, I'll go back there with him and we'll have some new solutions for you tonight at 9, 10, and 11. For now, I'm going to leave you with the 7-day forecast so that you can plan ahead. And we will catch you on the flip side.